Like, I need this. I need to become this. I need to do, I'm only on 2K a month. I need 100K a month. Like, they really shoot so far in the future, and they really don't believe they can even get there right now because they can't. So then they fall and they stop doing the work. But when I was a kid, just footballers. Ronaldinho was a massive one.
Yeah.
When like the YouTube era started coming out,
Yes.
he was crazy, bro. Ronaldinho was crazy.
And how was you academically at that stage as well?
Yeah, I would say just below average. Just below average. I was never really that smart in terms of academically. Anything really. I was okay at English, terrible at maths. Yeah, not very good.
Okay.
Not very good.
And what about in PE? Did you stand out?
Yeah, I always called that. Yeah, everything. I was like one of the best when I was like between like 10 and 13. I was one of the best runners in the UK.
Really?
So I was playing for Spurs and running at the same time. Like I would leave halftime at a game at Spurs and then go run like a marathon.
Wow.
Yeah, I went into the newspapers one time.
Oh, wow.
Because I played for Spurs. I scored like 2 goals.
Yeah.
Left at halftime, then went and done the marathon. And come like 3rd in the London Marathon straight after that same day.
How many miles was that?
It's a kids one. It was like 3 miles or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. And what?
I still hold records, bro. Do you know Enfield Harringay? You ever heard of that?
Yeah.
The running club.
Yeah.
I still have records there. I have the 1500 meter record. I had the 8, but I think someone beat that now. But that wasn't my speciality. 15 was my speciality.
Okay.
So it will still be there now.
Is that down to genetics or is that down to your hard work?
A bit of both. I would say I was blessed with endurance. Like I always have a lot of endurance.
Okay.
That's it's something that I obviously had to develop and make it better. But I've always had good endurance and like a very competitive mind. Like I'd rather die than lose. So the combination of that is perfect for like long distance running because I'm just not giving up. I used to literally run, bro, and if it was a hard race and I was really pushing, I'd just be throwing up while I'm running. Literally, bro, like run. Swear down, bro. That's what I was known for. People know, this Kevin's throwing up again. Yeah. I'll win the race, but he's throwing up.
Oh, mate. Oh, wicked, man. And how do you know what position you want to play in on a football pitch? How does that come about?
Bro, you don't. Like for me, it's a good question because that's something I never really knew and I was always changing. Bro, I only found my real position when I was 22. I was already playing for Liverpool. I moved to a midfielder. Now, when I made my debut for Liverpool, I only started playing midfield like 6 months prior.
Wow.
Which is kind of crazy.
And how much different is
centre mid is the hardest position ever. Like, imagine yourself playing fullback. That's where I was most of my career. Where like you've always got the line to your back, so there's no one coming from behind you, and then you go into the middle where you're in the middle of everything. There's players there, everywhere. Like it's mad. Wow. So I was I had to really catch up with a lot of people. Like in terms of midfield, I was playing against people that mastered the midfield position. They played there their whole life. Mm-hmm. So that was super tough.
I heard that if you do miss certain crucial years when you're young, in football, it's so hard to catch up later on.
Oh, bro, yeah. 100%.
So I had this guy called Efring Lisk who came on. His name's Dr. Abu. He's a real comedian. He's got 3 million followers and stuff. But he said he started off being a goalkeeper. But because he just missed in 1-2 years, he said that it was so hard that the training just got to a level where he's like, I missed out certain things and then it just kind of played catch up, or I was the second goalkeeper. How much of that is true?
Bro, but you got to think how hyper competitive football is. Like millions of kids like flooding through every single year wanting to be a professional footballer. So if you miss a year, bro, that's death. It's gone. So I mean, it's not impossible. Like I played with a goalkeeper who was when I was playing with him, he was a striker, which is crazy. He's had a very good career. I literally looked at him every day. I was like, bro, I'll just be like, hey, bro, how the fuck did you do that? How'd you go from a goalkeeper and now you're playing striker? Like, you can tell he's a little bit raw, you can tell, but bro, he's had a good career. Played international, like, played mainly in the Championship, League One. So it's can be done. I actually don't know how he done it, to be honest, but.
Here's a question for you. We're watching football, maybe even international, and we see somebody like take a kick from our tunnel, roaring at fans or even haters that are, I don't know. Did you ever experience any racism? Anyone saying
a little bit, not anything major. It was just when I used to play at Millwall. Millwall were the worst, bro. They didn't give a fuck. Like they were just straight up. Yeah. Wow. So I never really suffered anything that bad. Mm-hmm. I didn't really suffer anything really, to be honest. No, but a lot of people have. But I just remember a bit at Millwall. That was about it.
So where did it get to a competitive professional stage? Like, what if a little kid's watching this right now and he's 12 or 18 sort of ages, and he's like, what path has Kevin followed? Because I'm trying to become a football player right now, and I want to know if I'm on the right lines. I think I'm good, but I might enter the next stage and then like get out, like, and crush my dream. Like, how do I know I'm good enough? Like, what do I need to be doing, and where do I need to be being seen?
Yeah, I mean, you're not. It depends, bro. Like throughout my career, from when I was 12 to 18, there wasn't that many times I felt good enough. I was always like, I'm not good enough. I need to get better. I'm bottom of the group. I need to work my way up. That's how I felt for a lot of my career. But being on the right path is just like getting into the right environment, so you can really match up to the better players, like in the world or in the country. So okay, I don't feel that good right now. I feel like I need to improve a lot. I feel like I'm bottom of the group, but I'm bottom of the group at Spurs. So I know if I work my way to the top of the group through everything that they're teaching me, then I'm going to keep going to the next level. So it's hard. It's going to be very hard if you're not in that top environment. Because like, how do you match? Like, you never know how good you are compared to the academy players. He's like, I only know how good I am for my Sunday league team, and even if you're the best, it's kind of irrelevant because like, but I don't know what that means over here.
Yeah.
So until you get into that environment, which to be honest, if you're a decent player and you're young, it's not that hard to get a trial. If you're decent, it's just not. They've got development centers. They're always looking for kids.
Development centers. Where are
development centers is like just below the academy. So they filter through players for the development. If you're good enough and you stand out in the development, they'll put you up to the academy. So it's if you're decent, it's not that hard. If you can't get into like a trial or development center, then you probably aren't good enough yet, and you just keep working.
Tell me something. Why don't we see a lot of brown people in football?
I said this. Who did I say this to? Oh, someone at the property event yesterday. He was Indian, and he's like, "Oh, my son loves playing football." I was like, "Yeah, bro, make sure he's good because like you ain't got many good players. Like, come on, let's go."
There's one called Brandon. There's a Brandon guy who plays for Birmingham City Football Club.
Yeah, another guy called Jan Danda. He used to play for Liverpool.
Okay.
I think he's in Scotland now.
Wow.
I don't know, bro. I'm not sure. I think it's just probably going to be from environment, from where they grew up. Obviously, a lot of Asians and brown people are like very educational based.
Yeah.
And they're like, nah, like you ain't spending all your time doing that. You need to do this. So my dad didn't even care about that, bro.
Yeah.
My dad literally didn't care. Like as long as I kind of got the work done, he didn't really care what standard it was.
Yeah.
He would always, because he was a sporting background, so he preferred that. Like I'm the same. I really, other than the basics of reading, writing, basic knowledge of how the world works, I don't care how good academically my kids are. I really don't. So they're always going to, but I care about how capable they are physically. I care about how their self-esteem, their self-confidence, what they believe they're capable of. So as long as they got them things in check, I'm not that bothered. But then people see the world differently. So I think a lot of Asian parents and Indian parents, like they really want to be, they're educationally wise, they're the best. So it's like, it's a trade-off. Which one do you want to be?
Yeah. There's that side of things, but also it does cross my mind, even as an Asian person, that if I allowed my child to go into that sort of profession, yes, it's creative, yes, he might enjoy it. Okay, cool. I'll let one of my kids go into that profession. It then goes into my mind, why is it that I can only see maybe one or two brown people in football? We hear about racism, we hear certain chants from the stadium, even to other cultures, and you just think, oof, is my child going to be subjected to that?